Why is science not the best answer of proving that God exists? Anything that has an impact on the universe can be studied by science, even if you can't see it directly. Because people, so the reason I don't think science is a great way to prove that God exists is because in science, there's always two different theories. Everything is just a theory. I mean, no, not everything is just theory in science, but when talking about the creation of the universe, like we know based off science, evolution happened, but how that evolution started is a theory. Like God starting it all is a theory. The Big Bang is just a theory. Some people think they were the same thing. And I mean, the whole, the fine tuning argument that is reason that God fine tuned the entire universe. That's an argument for God, but it's also an argument for the multiverse. And so like there's so many things that are in science where it's like this is just an opinion or a theory, even though the scientific fact is there. But people are trying to point at that fact and say that this was the act of a supernatural being. But science has that fact because they say, well, we can point it to natural causes. And then the Christians say, well, it was natural causes and God created nature, so therefore it was God. And it's just this back and forth argument that will always exist as long as people try to prove God through science. That argument will always clash. And so if God does exist and people are trying to definitively prove his existence through science, it will never work, in my opinion. And I could be wrong about that. I might even change my opinion in a year or two years down the road. I don't know. But I just know that from what I've seen in the past couple of years that I've been on this journey and I've looked into these arguments from science, I just see that there's so much clashing. Like there's no it depends on your belief. It depends on your bias belief. First of all, if you believe in God and you see this scientific fact right here, you will say, yep, that's God. And the scientists will look at that same exact fact and say, yep, that's evolution. It didn't happen by God. It happened by the evolution of nature. And then there's that thing again where the Christian says, well, God created nature, and so it's God. And it's just it depends on your opinion, or your belief and your bias of belief. If you believe God exists, then you'll point to science. If you don't believe that God exists, you'll point to science. It's just, it doesn't add up in my opinion. And like I said, my opinion on that could change. But as far from what I've seen, science isn't a great way to prove the existence of God.